everyone, welcome to Pearl's Kitchen. If you like my video, give it a thumbs up, press the red button to subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon so you'll be notified for my upcoming video. It's all free. Thank you. Ability to resist temptation is directly proportional to your submission to God. Amen. Today I'm going to show you how to make one of India's popular dish. It's momos. And today I'm going to show you how to make chicken momo. For the ingredients for this delicious momo, here I've got a steamer, and the bottom pot I've half filled it with water, and the top bit is the steamer, and I've greased that with oil, so you make sure you grease the steamer. I haven't put it on yet. Then we'll need a frying pan. I've only just greased it with a paper with some oil, so you don't need much oil, but I just greased it so it's not dry. And in the pot, in the water, I will add 1 teaspoon of chaat masala, 1 teaspoon of salt, and this is the ingredients for the filling for the momo. In here I've got 200 grams of chicken mince. Now you need very fine chicken mince. If it's not fine, make sure you grind it. I've put it through the grinder, so it's very fine, more like a paste. And I've got 1 tablespoon of soya sauce to go in there, and 1 tablespoon of oil. And I've got 2 cloves of garlic finely chopped, half an inch of ginger finely chopped. I've got 2 green chilies also chopped. I've got a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of white pepper, and I've got 3 spring onions. And that's the filling. And this is for the dough for the momo. I've got 1 cup of plain flour, that's maida. I've got 1.5 tablespoons of oil, and I've got 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon of salt to go with it. I will also show you how to make the chutney to go with the momo. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is prepare the filling. So in the chicken, you mix the ginger garlic and the salt and pepper, the green chilies and the spring onions. Basically all the ingredients. Then you mix the soya sauce and then the oil. And now mix this with your hand. When it's thoroughly mixed, you let it rest for 5 minutes to marinate. Okay, now this chicken mince has been marinating for 5 minutes. Most people put this filling in the momo dough as it is, but I prefer to quickly pan fry it. That's why there's not a lot of oil in there, just greased it with paper. So I'm going to put this chicken in there, and I'm going to just fry it quickly because I just don't feel comfortable having the raw chicken in the steamer. So just give it a quick if you wish to, otherwise the chicken mince was alright to put it in the momos. But I'm going to do this for at least 3 to 4 minutes, and then I'll let it cool down. Okay, I've been pan frying this just for 3 minutes, didn't need a long time. And now that's it, I put the gas off. Now let this cool down completely. Okay, now that the chicken filling is cooling down, I'm going to make the momo dough. And here's this salt that I was telling you about. So just like a little bit more than 1/4 teaspoon. Mix that and then pour the oil in there. And basically we're going to do is just make this into a dough. We'll need some water for that. So just put enough water. Okay, once you form this into a bowl, then you start kneading it. Just put some water in your palms of your hand, and then just start kneading it for at least 3 to 4 minutes. Okay, you can see I've been kneading it for last 3 minutes. It's nice and soft. That's how it should be. Now you just take some oil in your hand and just wrap around it and just cover it with a cling film or a bowl or a damp cloth. Now keep this aside. So while this is resting, I'm going to show you how to make the chutney for the momo. Okay, and the ingredients for the Momo chutney: in the frying pan I've got 1 tablespoon of oil, and I've got around 3 cloves of garlic, and I've got an inch of ginger, little bit less than an inch of ginger, 2 red chilies, got 1 onion chopped, and I've got 3 tomatoes chopped. They were small tomatoes or 2 big ones, and I've got 1 tablespoon of desiccated coconut, 1 tablespoon of sesame seed, and 1 tablespoon of peanuts. People who are allergic to peanuts, that's optional, you can remove that. And I've got a 1/4 teaspoon of salt in there, and in here I've got 1 tablespoon of tomato ketchup and 1 tablespoon of soya sauce. Okay, as soon as your pan gets hot, you put the ginger and garlic. Doesn't matter if they're big pieces, because they all have to be grounded. To grind it in the mixer. Now in there you put the onion and the chili. Now let this sweat for a couple of minutes. Okay, this has been frying for a couple of minutes. Now I'm going to add the tomatoes. Now let the tomatoes get soft. Okay, the tomatoes have been frying for nearly 3 minutes. Now we're going to add the peanuts and everything, coconut and sesame seed. And there's another ingredient you could add if you wish, and that's 1 tablespoon of vinegar. I'm not putting vinegar because my husband's allergic to vinegar, so I'm making it without the vinegar. But you can, when you're adding the tomato ketchup and the soy sauce, you could add some vinegar. Now let all this, stir all this in, put the lid on, and now let this cook for another couple of minutes. Okay, now all this mixture has been frying for a couple of minutes. Now I'm going to put it off, and now let this cool down for a little bit, and as soon as it's cooled down, you put it in the mixie and grind it into a paste. Okay, that's our Momo chutney ready. That's what it should look like. Now keep this aside. Okay, now that everything is ready for the momos, we're going to start rolling out the momos. So take the dough and just keep rolling it out into a long log. And then we start cutting into small pieces. Okay, now start rolling them into a bowl and keep them aside. All of them. Okay, now before we start rolling out the momos, the water that we have to put to boil now for the steamer, you make sure you put the chaat masala and the salt in the water. And put the gas on so that water gets hot. Okay, that's the size bowl you need. So once they're ready, you roll them in flour, and now you need to start rolling them. So you belo them like puris. They need to be quite thin. Yeah, that's how thin it should be. Okay. So once you've beloed that and rolled it out, you need some water and you need the filling. And now you're going to take the chicken filling, whether you've fried it or just putting the raw chicken mince, either one you can use. Now you put that in the middle, and then you take some water, and now you just dampen the edges. So when you're sealing it, then it'll press and seal it properly. Now you just lift up the dough, and now we're going to start forming pleats. So you press one pleat, and then on top of that you press the other pleat, and then you keep going. And when you're nearly 3/4 up the way, and then the rest you just press together, and I'm sort of making it like a pouch, like a purse. So that's the shape we need. Okay, so that's one Momo done. I'll show you another one. As soon as you've rolled out like a puri, you put the chicken in the middle and dampen the edges. And then we start pleating it. One. Keep pressing each pleat on top of the other. Okay, once you've done 3/4 of it, you just seal the rest in front and lift up the edges, and there you go. Okay, all our momos are made now and the water is already boiling. Make sure definitely grease the top steamer, and now we're going to just lift up these momo parcels and put them in the steamer. I'm just going to put enough, and I'm going to do the rest in the second batch because I don't have a big enough steamer. Now put the lid on and now let this steam in the steamer for between 12 to 15 minutes. Okay, our momos have been steaming for 15 minutes. You got to make sure that the water is boiling and the chaat masala flavor comes into through the steamer into the momos. That's what makes it so delicious. So now I'm going to start taking them out. Just be gentle with it. It's very delicate. Use a chimta and just take them all out in here. Okay, that's our lovely chicken momos ready. Now remember, you can make them in any shapes. You can make them round parcels or like gujiyas. And now these can be eaten with the Momo Chutney that's here and some mayonnaise and some onion rings. If you like these Momo recipes, don't forget to put on your comments what you think about it, and I shall see you next time with some more delicious cooking. But until then, may God go with you and give you His peace.